Welcome to the Fearless Females Voice podcast, where women's stories and experiences are shared in order to empower and inspire others. I am taking over the mic on this episode as it's a special date. It has been 1 year since I started Fearless Females as a passion project, and I wanted to talk through my journey so far. By a passion project, I mean I started an Instagram page and was giving out value for free to anyone who wanted to read it and see it and listen to it. So that's what it was, just a passion project. Firstly, damn, how has it already been 1 year? Time has flown by, and it just goes to show the power of consistency and keeping at it with something and not giving up. I've learned many lessons along my journey and wanted to share this all with you today. I'd like to start with how this all began. Because exactly 1 year ago, I was working at a full-time job doing something that I wasn't really enjoying. I was working for the sake of working and earning money for security, but I wasn't really fulfilled. I remember talking to my fiance at the time, who is now my husband, Akash, and going through my options. I asked myself, how could I be happier in what I was doing? What kind of things do I enjoy? What am I good at? What are my passions? And this led me to talking about how strongly I felt towards women empowerment. I had worked in a male-dominated environment in the engineering industry for over 8 years and experienced the female biases in the workplace, but also saw that there were hardly any women in senior positions. And when I asked other colleagues about women in senior positions, they said to me, oh, well, the women who are in senior positions are all single, or those women don't have families or children. And I thought to myself, that's quite a stereotype. But when I looked at it, it was actually true. And I thought to myself, I don't want that, because I know that I want a family and I want to be successful in my career. So why is the perception that you can't have both? And many women dwell on this, and they do double think what they want to do with their future career because of this, because they may want a family and feel that they can't actually have a successful career as well. I also reflected on my travel experiences because, for those of you who know, I love traveling. I've been to over 50 countries, done many of those trips by myself, and as you can imagine, I've experienced and seen a lot. I've seen how poorly women were treated in some of the countries that I visited and how little opportunities they actually received. I remember when traveling to a Middle Eastern country on my own, I was walking around during the daytime and I was stared at, which made me felt quite anxious and a bit nervous at the time as well. And I wasn't allowed to go out during certain times as well. I was just restricted to my accommodation. And I always thought, is this because it's dangerous for me to go out? Is it because there's only men out? And it made me feel that I wasn't really experiencing my freedom. I just felt so restricted. Also, when I went to India, I was ignored when I went to shops to buy things. The male shopkeepers would look past me to see, oh, well, is there a male figure behind you? And I always got asked, where's your dad or where's your husband? Why are you by yourself? And even in Central and South America, women were perceived in a specific way, and many of the locals conformed to the pressures of society and changed their lifestyles and did things they didn't necessarily want to do. Now, women have made great progress over the last 100 years in terms of fighting for our rights, such as voting, working, and more current issues such as the gender pay gap. But we still have a long way to go. This is what I want to impact, the narrative of women in society. And I found that it all starts with us, me and you and other women. We need to believe in ourselves, progress, continue, and not conform to the patriarchal system. Through starting Fearless Females, I've come across more and more feminists who are raising awareness of these issues and are fighting for women and their rights. It's great knowing that there is a community of us working together on this. And we're doing this, and I wanted to start this not just for women in our generation today. or our parents or the older women. I wanted to do this for the new generations coming through, for the girls who are currently experiencing all these biases, for the girls who are thinking, oh, can I work in a technical field? Can I work as an engineer? That's a man's job. For the girls who are experiencing all the biases in society today, I'm doing this for our future generations as well. On that note, that is one of the main reasons that I started Fearless Females as a passion project, and it quickly developed into more. By the way, before I go any further, I have to give credit to my husband, Akash, who has supported me 100% through my journey and has helped me every step of the way. He's actually the one who came up with the name Fearless Females. And when people say to me, oh, that's a great name, I always give him credit because he is the creative out of the two of us. He always has my best interests, and his drive and belief in me keeps me going. So I'm really glad that he's here by my side. So back to it. So I started off Fearless Females by creating an Instagram page, and I was scared as hell to do this. Those of you who have started a business or even a public page will know that it's scary putting yourself out there, right? I was just thinking, is anyone going to like me, or is anyone going to like my posts? And I was just afraid of what people would say and not really knowing what would happen. So I was just scared. And with my first post, it took a lot of encouragement from Akash to get it out there. He kept saying, it's now or never. It's so easy to sit on something and do nothing with it. But if you do nothing with it, the momentum will fizzle away, and eventually that idea will just turn into nothing. And I didn't want to let that great idea pass. So eventually I did put my first post out there, and it was actually received well by others. I don't know what I was so scared about, and it made me see that it's all okay. So I continued on, and I started getting into doing videos, which again, I was super scared about. But the more I did these things, such as post videos and put myself out there, the more comfortable I felt, and I eased into it. And that's how my confidence grew, by doing this and taking action more and more. So starting Fearless Females really tested me and put me out of my comfort zone. I'd always been a private person, so to then have a public page and put myself out there meant exposing myself. But I kept thinking that I could do it, and my why for doing it was really strong. This was beyond me. This wasn't just something that I was doing for me. I was doing it for other women. I was doing it for society. I was doing it for women all over the world. So it's just far beyond me. And my why kept me going and thinking, I need to do this. And the feedback that I received from all of you who were saying that the podcasts are helpful, the posts are helpful, the videos are helpful, really just kept me going and made me feel incredible inside. It's great knowing that I'm making an impact. After 2 months of starting Fearless Females as a passion project, I finally built up the courage to quit my job. At the time, I had no other source of income outside of my day job, but I had to do it because I was not fulfilled or living to my purpose. So I quit my job without having a backup plan. I'd saved enough money to give me the time and space I needed to figure things out. In all honesty, after leaving my job in February 2021, I actually thought about going into employment, as that's all I really knew. I didn't know what my options were. So I decided to take some time off, based on Akash, my family, and a few friends suggesting that, just to give me a bit of time and do nothing and focus on myself. By nothing, by the way, I mean spend time with my family, my friends, and just with myself. I had the breather that I needed in life, and this breather really helped me in so many ways. I was still posting on Fearless Females, but it was a passion project, which meant I was just adding value, and that's all it was. I continued my podcast and spent minimal time on Fearless Females outside of posting and podcasts, and just kept it ticking along. After 4 months of unemployment, I realized that I didn't want to get another job. I didn't want to work for someone else. I wanted to curate a different life for me. I wanted to try something different and see how it goes. And one day in May 2021, it all fell into place. I found the missing piece of the puzzle. I had done plenty of coaching and mentoring in my previous workplace, and I absolutely loved seeing my colleagues flourish, feel unstoppable, and progress in their careers through the work that we did together. This was a huge passion of mine, along with women empowerment. So I combined the two and decided to turn Fearless Females into a business, which I had no plan of doing when I first started this off. I knew nothing about business, so it was a steep learning curve. I just knew that I wanted to provide some form of coaching services and a program because I'd done plenty of courses and programs in the past, and I also had myself a coach and a mentor throughout my career, which helped me so much. I loved having someone to bounce ideas off and also joining a program that helped upskill myself. So I started to brainstorm ideas of what exactly I wanted to offer and how it would work. I also upskilled myself in podcasting through a course which I joined so I could provide a better platform for all those listening. So I eventually came up with the idea of the 12-week Becoming Fearless program. This was from combining all of my experiences, knowledge, and training into one place. This program is designed to help you discover yourself, understand more about what it is that you're capable of, and helps you take action. And once you start doing that, your confidence will build throughout this program, and you'll be overcoming your fears and living a life that you want to live. I would have loved this program back in the day when I was working on myself. I found that I had tried and tested so many different methods and practices and found the winning formula for me, which I wanted to share with others through this program. So the Becoming Fearless program was created. And I just love right now, all the clients who are on it love receiving all the feedback that they have on the program and all the amazing progress that they've made throughout their life, through the goals that they've achieved. And I just feel overwhelmed with happiness, really. And it's just lovely hearing that I'm actually making a change to other women. So I Googled my way through how to start a business, created a website, and learned how to build an audience. I didn't have a lot of capital that I was able to inject into the business. So I did a lot of the work myself because I couldn't outsource some of the work. So I did the marketing, the website design, sales, social media, finances, and everything else that you can think of. I also edit my own podcasts for the time being, and do everything in terms of the podcast by myself. I'm the type of person who loves learning. So for me, I thrived in this initial period of learning. I launched my program and got myself my first few clients, and eventually it turned into more. I love seeing the results which my clients get. They are more confident. They are taking control of their lives. They are spending more time on themselves. They are making progress in their relationships. And best of all, they feel happy, which makes me happy. It has now been 4 months since I started Fearless Females as a business, which isn't a long period of time. And I did a complete 180 on my career as I went from engineering to women empowerment coaching. This is still very new to me, but I just know that I love what I do and I would never go back. So here's what I have learned so far since starting Fearless Females. Number 1, my self-belief dictates everything. I found that getting my mindset in the right place has helped me so much with my progress. I've kept faith in what I'm doing, and the universe has been guiding me as I go along. I took a leap into the unknown, and don't get me wrong, things weren't clear, but I am getting there. I've remained open-minded and willing to accept that all the things that come my way. Number 2, there will be down days when I don't feel as motivated or things don't quite go to plan, and that's okay. That's when I know I need a break or to take my failures as a learning. I still feel so new to business, so not all things will go to plan. I've learned to understand why they happen and what I can do differently. Number 3, I need to keep moving forward. I don't want to take my foot off the pedal. as every day there is some form of progress, no matter how small. Something new can happen, or I can speak to someone different, or I can put a new post out there that will impact someone and I'll get some feedback from them. It's just also rewarding. Number 4, people are watching. Although not everyone interacts with my posts or videos, that's okay, because I find that some people inquire with me and I've never seen them engaging with my content. But they are watching, and that just goes to show that it's not always about the stats of your posts, and this has helped my mindset around social media. Number 5, be consistent with what I am doing. The more I show up and add value, the more Fearless Females will grow. I love putting information out there and speaking to the women who reach out. It's great hearing from you all, and I learn something new from every conversation that I have. There are so many more learnings, but for now, those are my top 5. It's been an incredible journey so far. I am so grateful for the support that I've had from Akash, my family, and my friends. And I'm finally doing something which I completely love, and it's such an amazing feeling. That's all for now, and I hope you enjoyed the listen. Thanks for tuning in, and do reach out if you want to know more, have any questions, or just want to share your thoughts on this podcast or any other episode. I love hearing how the podcasts have helped you or made you see things differently. So do get in touch. I'm really open to having conversations. And as I said, I love hearing from you. Thank you so much for listening to the Fearless Females Voice podcast. Don't forget, I have a free quiz for you which will help you discover how fearless you are. It identifies where you're being held back in life and will give you some tips at the end on how to improve your mindset and confidence so you are living your best life. You can take the free quiz on my website, www.fearlessfemales.me. Also, I'd love for you to do me a massive favor. If you enjoyed the podcast, then be sure to leave a 5-star review on iTunes. Thank you.